Hello everybody! Today I am going to be talking about 10 things that I wish I knew before college. These are basically going to be an explanation of 10 different things that I worried about before my freshman year of college, but now that I've almost completed an entire year of college, I only have 1 week left, I have the answers now. So let's just get on into it. Number 1 is that you have to seek out everything. Nothing is going to just come to you. What I mean by this is that in high school and just in a lot of your life when you're younger, a lot of times opportunities will come knocking on your door, or you'll be forced to do certain things, so you might get involved in something simply because it's required for you to be involved in that particular thing. In college, it's not like that. You have a lot more freedom, and with that freedom, you're not being forced to do anything other than the classes that you take. You have to be proactive about stuff, you have to go join things, you have to get involved in stuff. It's not up to anybody else, it's simply up to you. Basically what I'm trying to say is you have to be the one to get up and go out and go sign up for something, go find something to do, because generally things aren't just gonna fall in your lap, you have to go seek them out. The second thing that I worried about a lot is making new friends, and honestly, you're not magically just gonna make new friends as soon as you go to college. It's not gonna happen like that. I feel like that's what a lot of people also worry about, is making new friends and wondering how that happens. Basically, what I've learned is that it doesn't just happen. You're probably not going to find a new best friend, especially your first semester or your first year. I feel like you find more friends the later it gets into school. And you meet people in your classes, and if you sort of take advice from number 1 and you go sign up and do something, you meet people in clubs that you become friends with. And really, it's not something to stress over, I don't think. It will happen, it's just not something that is, again, gonna magically come to you. You sort of have to seek it out, and you have to make connections and relationships with people. You have to get involved with stuff so that you meet people, if that makes sense. Number 3 is that you do not need to be worried about your college classes. When I was in high school, I constantly had teachers telling me they're trying to prepare me for college. College professors aren't going to let you slack off like we let you slack off in high school. Things are going to be so much harder when you get to college. College professors don't care about you. You're just going to be on your own. And I feel like high school teachers either just don't understand college, it was different when they were in college, or they're just trying to scare high school students, because I have not had that experience. Yes, it's true that professors are stricter on deadlines most of the time, and grading is a little bit harder in college than it is in high school, simply because a lot of times in high school teachers are a little more lenient with grades, whereas college professors aren't. But all the other stuff that I always heard about college professors being a lot stricter and just being a lot harder, the classes just being a lot more work and a lot harder, isn't necessarily true. They are more work, I do have to agree with that one. All of my college classes are a lot more work. I constantly have papers due, projects due, that kind of thing. Mostly what college, in my experience, has been is sitting in lectures and then going and having a lot of work due outside of class, whereas in high school I had a lot of in-class work. Also, what I was worried about was that college work was going to just be a whole lot harder, and honestly, it's not harder, it's just a lot more of it. For me personally, obviously if you go to like an Ivy League school or something, I'm guessing the work is gonna be harder. Or if you're on like track for a very difficult degree, your work is probably gonna be harder. But I'm a film and video student, so my work isn't necessarily hard. And my gen ed classes aren't really that hard, like English, history, humanities, that kind of stuff. Not exactly more difficult than high school, just more work. Number 4 is again another one about relationships, except this one is about romantic relationships. I feel like there is sort of a general stigma that you're gonna find your soulmate in college or something, and that could be true, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't though. A lot of people marry people that they met way outside of college. But me personally, I don't know a whole lot of people that are in relationships their freshman year of college. I'm not saying you won't find somebody that you will be in a relationship with. You could have a How I Met Your Mother Marshall and Lily first day of class freshman year and you meet your soulmate sort of situation, but a lot of people generally don't. And frankly, a lot of colleges have a very hookup based culture. If you got Tinder, you'll get a hookup. That's mostly what college is. Number 5, kind of a downer. You're probably not going to enjoy most of your classes your freshman year because you have to take a lot of gen eds, which is just general requirements that you have to take for your major. Every school has different gen eds, every major has different gen ed requirements, and you could have gotten some of these out of the way in high school with dual enrollment or AP classes, but you get to mix in some classes for your major as well your freshman year, so it's not just gen eds. So there is a possibility of you liking a few of your classes. Your gen eds are not gonna be fun. Unless you like English, history, humanities, science, math. If you like those kind of things, congratulations, you will have 2 years worth of them. But if you don't like them, like me, then you will just sort of have to suffer for that part of freshman year and sophomore year. And if you don't get them out of the way, junior year too. Number 6, your advisor, or the person that helps you sign up for your classes, isn't always right. Your first semester, probably a good idea to go with what they're saying, simply because you don't really know anything about the school or the system or how it works yet. But once you get past that and you sort of understand things better, don't solely go off of what your advisor says. Just pay attention to what they're telling you when you have to go to meetings for them. You're probably going to be required to go meet with your advisor at least your freshman year for picking classes. Listen to what they have to say, and even if they don't, you can ask for a paper a lot of times that has a list of what you need for your major and all of your requirements. And if you have that paper, you kind of never need to go back because it tells you exactly what you need. And it also lets you know if your advisor is telling you to take classes that you don't really need and you don't want to take, because you want to be on the lookout for that. If you're getting told to take a class that you don't think you need and that you really don't want to take, if you look further into it, you might be able to not take it, not sign up for it, because your advisor is really just that. They're advising you. They're not telling you. You still have the final say as to what you take, but there are requirements that you have to fulfill in your major, and just in general at school you have to take a certain number of like Englishes and maths. So you have to sort of understand that. Bottom line, advisors aren't always right, and sometimes you need to find the answers from somebody else. Number 7 is that at the beginning, and especially your first week of school, you're probably going to feel out of place and like you're never gonna learn the campus and you don't know what you're doing there. I talked to a lot of people the first couple of weeks of college, and they felt like that. They felt like they were out of place and that they might have made the wrong decision. But good news, for most people, that feeling passes rather quickly. You actually learn your campus really quickly, at least if you try to. What I did first week of school, before classes even started, me and one of my friends, we took our schedules and we went to every single building where our classes were going to be held, so that way we sort of walked the path of our days. So that way on that Monday when we first had classes that we had to go to, we didn't have to worry about getting lost, and we didn't have to worry about like that anxiety of not knowing where to go or being late, because we'd already walked the path of where our classes were going to be. Number 8, I learned not to compare yourself to other people, because everyone is on different tracks and what's best for them might not necessarily be what's best for you. You're gonna meet people who are going to be on track to graduate in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You're going to meet people that are in your major signing up for classes that you didn't sign up for. You're going to be meeting people that are in clubs that you're not in, that are doing things that you're not doing, or that you're doing that they're not doing. And that is something that can be kind of nerve-wracking when you're first going to college, because you're in a new place, you're not really sure what you're doing, and when you see someone else doing something, you sort of automatically think that you're wrong and they're right. Everybody has different roads that they're supposed to be traveling on, and everybody has different experiences that they're going to be making, and you don't have to worry about comparing yourself to them and thinking that they're right and you're wrong. Number 9, sort of going along with that, do not let what other people think or what other people are doing influence you and your choices and what you do. If you think you're going to be judged for doing something and that's stopping you from doing it, don't let it. I feel like a lot of people have this idea in their head that they're going to be judged for a lot of stuff that people actually in reality don't care. Like, people aren't paying that much attention to you, like random strangers, is what you're doing, and they're not going to judge you for stuff. If you want to do something that makes you happy, anybody that's going to judge you for that is kind of just not important. And I mean, yeah, everybody gets judged for what they do, and we even judge other people, but like in all reality, what does our judgment mean to that person? Nothing. The fact that we think a certain way does not actually affect them in any way. And vice versa. When you're doing something, somebody else might think something weird about it or whatever, but that doesn't actually affect you. It's just what's in some other person's mind. It doesn't matter. Some of the best choices that you make are choices that you make that other people are going to judge you for making. So just Just don't think about it. And number 10, this one is sort of a different theme than the rest of all of my ones, but honestly, it's the truth and it's something that I did learn my freshman year, and that is buying a big dining plan or meal plan or whatever it's called at your school is kind of a waste of money. I keep snacks and stuff in my dorm, so I don't eat every meal from my meal plan, and I skip a lot of meals too just because I don't have time to eat or I'm just too lazy to go out and get food. And I feel like a lot of people have sort of that same situation. They keep food in their dorms or they just don't use all of their meal plan. Personally, I think a lot of people have the mindset of going in and buying sort of a good meal plan and then they don't use it. So I'm just saying. And that is it for my entire video. Those are my top 10 tips of things that I wish I knew before my freshman year of college, but I know them now. So I hope this knowledge spread to you was helpful. If it was, please give this video a like, and you can also subscribe for more college related videos. I put out videos every single Friday. I hope you have a great day. Bye guys.